Welcome everyone to our very first episode of Top 2. I am your host Ayesha and I'm here with my best friend and now my co-host Leena. We wanted to start this podcast because we are seriously passionate about finding useful tips and solid conclusions on life big questions. I guess that's our little USP on this show. So let me welcome Leena.
Hello, everyone. This is Leena. I'm so glad we are finally doing this, Aisha.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to take us on this journey along.
Absolutely. So before we start off this show, there's a little bit of what we are going to do. We are going to keep it short and peppy, Leena, and we're going to pack with our top 2 tips on whatever is trending these days, or those evergreen hacks that our listeners did not know that they always need to know. The best part is, at the end of each episode, you'll get our top 2 takeaways, and we call them no fluff, just good stuff.
Yes, exactly. Good stuff. So, whether you're in for a quick drive or just taking a break, stick around and let's dive into top 2 of life.
Absolutely. So, we are starting off this topic, and which is very, very close to our heart. It's friendship. It had to be friendship because both of us were starting off this podcast for the first time. Well, life gets busy and you have millions of notifications popping up every time, and it's hard to nurture those bonds. That's why we are here today to talk about how to keep your friendship communication on. So back in the days when you had to meet your friend to just hang out with or go to someone's house, you needed to go out of their house, shout out their names outside the window, and hope they came out to play or hang around with you. What's it, Leena?
Oh, yes, Aisha. Those days I still remember. I can hear your voice in my head.
Really?
Leena, come outside. And if they did not hear you, it just meant one thing.
And what was that?
Just shout louder. Because there were no phones, there was no WhatsApp, no text, just raw vocal cords. So we really had to work on that friendship, guys.
Absolutely. And we've seen it all, didn't we? From this brick-like heavy phones while playing the game Snake on them. Remember that game Snake, which had 4 arrow buttons?
Oh, yeah. That was the only game the phones used to have.
The phones used to have, exactly. To our very first smartphones that we are using now, we have been through a tech evolution, and we appreciate it, I think, a little more than Gen Zs or Gen Alphas will ever will.
Exactly. We actually earned our internet because those days it was a real struggle and you had to battle for someone to get off the landline phone so you could use the internet.
Right.
But even with all that, Aisha, we have managed to stay in touch no matter where we are today.
Yeah, that's amazing. That gets to, our first segment on the show is like why staying in touch with friends matters. So we've been in different countries for the last 10 years or more than that. And let's be real, Leena, staying in touch isn't just important. It is necessary. It's absolutely necessary for us to be in touch. So your friends are the only people who will call you out on your nonsense or hype you up when you need it. Like Leena, remember that one time when I really required actual life advice, and you sent me a meme instead.
Yes. Yes, I really remember that meme, but it was quite relatable. And sending memes was trending, so I had to do what was trending that time.
Right.
But on a deeper note, I would say that friendship does keep us grounded.
Okay. Yeah.
And you really need those people in your life, who have known you before you discovered filters and could roast you for your embarrassing email IDs you had in school. Aisha, do you remember your email ID?
Don't mention it, but but glad that we're talking about it right now. I'm talking to a friend who knew me when I used to be skater girls forever as my email ID. While staying in touch with those buddies actually keeps you connected to who you really are, and it doesn't let you get lost in today's busy world. Now this
Hmm.
gets us to our second segment, is barriers to keeping in touch. Now, let's be honest. It's not always easy to stay in touch, especially when you're juggling with jobs in school or college or university, family, and these days, binge watching Netflix.
Yes, Aisha, and don't forget TikTok also.
Mm.
Yeah, because you just go in for a video and suddenly 3 hours later you realize you've learned the entire history of the avocado.
Yeah, history of an avocado or a rubber duck for that matter. But life's
Yeah.
busy, and then there's a whole different time zone issues, which is a big barrier. Like I'm awake, and Leena, basically, you are in another universe where it's nighttime, right?
Yeah, I'm like just I was just about to get a deep
Snore off,
sleep and you caught me.
snooze off. And we've had to get very creative, and and have different ways to keep in touch.
Yeah, and let's not even forget the practical stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, Other than the digital burnout, like
Hmm.
we are already overwhelmed by so many notifications, messages, emails, and
Right.
sometimes you're dodging texts like you're in the matrix. So it feels more like a chore and more like a duty now.
It feels really like a chore. This gets us to a third segment, which is practical strategies for staying in touch. So, all right, here's our top two strategies for staying in touch with your friends, even when life gets in the way. So, what you want to go up with the first one, Leena?
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
The first tip and really, it works well is like schedule regular catch ups.
Mm-hmm.
It's so simple, but it's genius.
Absolutely.
Like, just set a date, literally put it on your calendar. It does
Mm-hmm.
not have to be every week,
Yep,
even once a month, but I'm sure that's going to make a very big difference.
it does.
So me and Aisha have been scheduling virtual coffee dates since years, and it's working wonders, isn't it, Aisha?
I look forward to those coffee dates. I can't do
Really,
without
me
those
too.
coffee dates. Really, it has changed so much, and it has helped us so much to be in touch. And let's be real, if it's not in our calendar, it's not happening. So treat it like a legit appointment, and we don't let things get in its way. So if something comes up, we have, and something is coming up on a different note, we just say to them that sorry, we are busy, and I'm actually hooked with my virtual chat with my bestie. This way, we are not squeezing each other in, but we are making the conversation a priority. We are making each other a priority, isn't it, Lena?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Right. And
second tip.
now on to our tip two.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So here's the thing, voice or video messages are the real game changers.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, you don't have time for a live conversation,
Yeah.
but a quick voice or a video message is just perfect.
Wow.
As it's just like telling your best friend that here's my face, here's my voice, I'm alive and I miss you.
Oh.
And yes, and even studies have shown that uh, you know when you hear your or when you listen to a loved one's voice, that
Mm-hmm.
reduces and triggers the release of a hormone called oxytocin,
Okay.
which is related to bonding. So when this hormone is released, it helps you create a sense of closeness, comfort, and relaxation.
Wow. So it's scientifically
Yes.
proven. Yeah. Now to get this a little further, exactly like no one ever said, I wish I got more texts. But hearing someone's voice or seeing your friend's face, even for 30 seconds, makes a huge difference. Plus, it's much more personal than a WhatsApp text. Making sure that we are making those meaningful relationships with depth. This makes me
Mm.
think of something when we scroll around on Facebook, you could have like thousands of friends online, but how many of those friends and how many of those connections are actually meaningful, Leena?
Right.
Yeah. So this gets
Yes.
to our yeah, this gets to our fourth segment, is how technology has actually made it easier these days for friends across countries to stay in touch. So we grew up before the iPhone era, and we've seen how much easier it's gotten to stay in touch, and thanks to technology.
Yes, absolutely. Back in the day,
Hmm.
we would be lucky if we could get through a 10-minute phone call without our parents yelling in the background to get off the phone, you know. Yes, because someone had to use the internet.
Hmm.
But now, with you have so many options. You have FaceTime, Zoom, WhatsApp. It's like there are no excuses left.
Exactly. You have virtual movie nights, playing games together online, or even you can share a playlist. I mean, staying connected is practically foolproof. Like, I was watching a
Yeah.
video the other day when I was scrolling up that Apple is actually working on a device called as Apple Vision Pro, which is
Oh,
expected to be an advanced mixed reality headset that combines virtual and augmented reality experiences. So it envisions a setup where you could interact with a holographic image of your friend in real time, almost like they are right there with you, having a coffee or chatting, or having a real time experience.
wow, this is like crazy. But I
Yeah.
just can't wait to get my hands on it. And
Hmm.
I've heard it's rumored to be launched in 2024.
Yeah, it is.
So, you all might get a chance to get it and grab it soon.
Yeah, yeah, it's easier
And
than ever.
let's not forget, with all the apps we have now, it's even easier to make time for your friends. You just have to use them. So
Yeah,
use
you
the
just have to use it.
technology that we have now and make the best of
Lena,
it.
it makes me wonder that friendship these days are deeper because of these apps, or we're just connecting over the surface.
Aisha, that's a very good question.
Hmm.
Um, it's like, when you send a lot of messages on your WhatsApp groups and everyone sending emojis, memes. But I really wonder if those connections are meaningful. I feel it's more just on a very superficial level.
Yeah.
So I
Speak
don't see the real connection.
Right. Like, speaking of meaningful connections, let's dive into our top picks apps that truly help you stay in touch and build those deeper bonds. And of course, saving the best for the last, just like we have promised, with our top two tips. So just have some drum rolls, please. So, Lena, do
Yes.
you want to start with our top two tips of what we are going to say to stay in touch?
Yes, absolutely. I would like to start first, and it would be Marco Polo. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically a video messaging app,
Mm-hmm.
and it allows you to send a video message without having the pressure of being alive. So, you send a video message when you are free, and your friends respond to the message when they are free.
Oh,
So,
wow.
it's very similar to Snapchat,
Mm-hmm.
but the messages don't disappear after a few seconds,
Hmm.
and it also encourages active listening, which helps you really tune in to what your friend is saying.
Yeah, and we've been using this for a while now, Lina, right? It's
Yes,
perfect
yes,
when you have a busy schedule and you can't always align for a call. Plus, there's something about seeing your friend's face that makes the connection feels more genuine. So it also allows you connecting on your own time when it fits with your life. Lets you give those undivided attention moments to your friend, creating the space for empathy and real tuning in on to what your friend is actually feeling.
yes. Perfect. It's really good.
Hmm. And there's a
And
second
guys,
one.
if you love gaming, the
Hmm.
second app is Bunch.
Hmm.
That's yeah, it lets you do a video chat with your friend while playing games together. So, you can play games like Among Us, Minecraft, or whatever's hot at the moment while seeing your friend's reaction. So that makes it even more fun.
Yeah, the other day we were playing Roblox and I actually knocked you out. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
So it's basically like hanging out with your friend in real life, and it's a perfect example of how technology can help us create those shared experiences even when we are not together. And I love that. So when we've had some hilarious nights on Bunch, it was our great time, and those moments was priceless. It's been a lifesaver during the times when we couldn't meet up in person, Lena. What do you say?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love these apps and it's so much fun.
Yeah, during COVID, and I think when we were also busy
Yes,
these
when
days.
we could actually not meet, these were the
Yeah,
saviors.
yeah. So when we have seen a lot more conversation today about barriers and keeping in touch and practical strategies of having staying in touch, how technology has made us easy. This gets to a wrap on our first episode of Top 2. We hope these tips have helped you stay connected with your friends. Share with us your experiences because we feel we all have something to contribute to this conversation. And meanwhile, reach out to a friend. You never know, a simple act of connection could brighten their day.
Yes, absolutely. And don't forget to check out Marco Polo and Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
They've really changed the way we stay in touch. Give
Yeah.
them a try and let us know how it goes. And also, one more thing,
Mm-hmm.
we are not this is not a sponsored podcast, so
Right.
we have actually used these apps and we love them, and that is why we are sharing it with you.
Absolutely. They are not sponsored us, and this is not a sponsored podcast by them. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more top 2 tips on all kinds of topping under the sun. See you next time.
Yes, absolutely. It has been an interesting conversation, and I'm sure while we were talking, you were thinking about your own friend.
I was.
And we'll see you soon, yes, with another episode. Do write to us on which top 2 segments you want us to cover next. Bye.
Bye.